Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. Content is intended to provide accurate information, however, is not intended as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult a financial, legal, or tax professional for specific information regarding your individual situation. Opinions expressed and provided are for general informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security.
Welcome to Protect and Grow with Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns of TJ Stearns Incorporated. Trust, respect, and results. TJ Stearns Incorporated focuses on comprehensive financial planning and benefits.
And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement, with your resource, ladies and gentlemen, for a common sense approach to planning, helping to clarify the complex financial and retirement planning world. He is Chicagoland's CFP certified financial planner, Tim Stearns. Tim, always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
We do appreciate it. And there are a couple building blocks for retirement that we all count and depend on being there. One on the wealth side and one on the health side, Tim. For income, we count and depend on Social Security. And then for health, we count and depend on Medicare being there for us. Two pretty important topics to discuss as we are planning and preparing for retirement.
Yeah, Peter, those are major expenses. I mean, we always talk about the business, the biggest thing, that the biggest expense, I would say, is taxes. But then you're looking at the cost of health insurance as well. So healthcare would be another potentially large expense, even if you're on Medicare.
Yep. And so we need to plan for income, and we want to maximize that income, right, Tim?
Exactly. While mitigating taxes as well. So there's a lot of different tools that can be utilized to do that. And, we help people do that every day here.
Well, if you've got questions or concerns about your wealth, about your health coverage in retirement, about creating that income, pick up the phone, give a call. Chicagoland's CFP certified financial planner, Tim Stearns, here to help and assist in your planning efforts, ladies and gentlemen. 800-640-2256, the number to call. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, I saw a statistic that said that 40% of Americans survive in retirement on Social Security alone. Now, I don't know if that means that we are not saving enough and not doing anything else, and therefore Social Security is all we have. Hopefully not. Hopefully it is that we are living within our means and we can budget to survive off that, and then in addition have the security of our personal assets. But it also, to me, means that we need to make the most of Social Security when and where possible to maximize that source of income. That is part of the Protect and Grow plan that you provide for Chicagoland area listeners, watchers, viewers of the podcast, savers and investors that have their mind on retirement.
Yes, and we are happy to provide people with a Social Security maximization report that we do. No obligation, but we love doing it for people because you want to make sure you're not leaving money on the table, and you want to make sure that you're not, shooting yourself in the foot by taking it too early, depending on what's going on. So we can run that, and we can get it down to like dollars and pennies to know how much, the optimization. Do you go at age 62? Do you wait till age 66 and so many months, depending on your date of birth? Or, do you wait till age 70, and take that 8% per year that it grows, depending on each person's situation.
Well, we are going to take a deep dive into the ins and outs, the pros and cons, and all you need to know about Social Security, and touch on Medicare as well. But these are some of the largest considerations for retirement. And Tim does have this great resource of the three biggest expenses in retirement, and then more importantly, how to plan to control them. If you would like that report, pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. But on the program, we'll discuss the timing of collecting your benefits, taxes on your benefits, potential penalties to your Social Security, which is different than the conversation about taxation. Those are two different things. We'll talk about survivorship implications, making a good decision of maximizing your benefits. And then for Medicare, we'll talk about the important resources to help you get an understanding of all the options and what Medicare does and what it does not cover. And the list of what it does not cover actually may be more extensive than what it does cover. So stay tuned. As always, lots of important information coming your way. But if you would like a specific plan on how to map out your retirement, pick up the phone, give Tim Stearns a call. He's always happy to hear from listeners to the program and does offer to put a plan together, a written retirement plan together for you, specific, individual, customized to your situation, the Protect and Grow plan, just for being a listener. Now, similar plans can easily go upwards of $1,000 to several thousands of dollars for the time and the work of putting a plan together that a certified financial planner would put in, but Tim will put that together for you, no cost, no obligation, just for being a listener to the program, including the Social Security maximization report and analysis. 800-640-2256 is the number to call if you would like to take advantage. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Tim, one of the biggest mistakes, because this is such a large piece, a foundational cornerstone of retirement, one of the biggest mistakes that we can make is mistiming when to start, when to claim and collect our Social Security benefits.
Well, there is no right or wrong answer, right? I mean, everyone's situation is very unique. But, in our book that we give away, and again, I'd like to offer that to the first 10 callers that have over $500,000 or more, to get the book into their hands. But in there, we advocate for your full retirement age, depending. I mean, everyone's situation is different. So you got to make sure that you, take a look at your situation. But when you do a written income plan, nowadays, most baby boomers, their guaranteed income is literally, Social Security. That's it. I mean, a lot of people don't have pensions anymore. Right. So these are things that we go into when we're doing a written income plan. I'd say about 95% of Americans don't have a plan. They're just going to kind of go into it and wing it, and that's definitely not something you want to do in retirement. You want to work in the know.
Well, if you would like a copy of that book that Tim mentioned, Income Allocation, that is available to the first 10 callers to today's program with at least $500,000 saved for retirement. So if you've been serious about your own financial future, planning and saving, $500,000 or more, the strategies discussed in this book do work best for you. So pick up the phone and give a call. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, you mentioned full retirement age. Now that's different depending on when we were born. Also different than what we hear a lot of people recommending, in that you should claim it as soon as you possibly can or wait all the way until 70.
Well, if you go at age 62, I mean, you're going to get 75% on what your full retirement age would have been, and that dollar today is going to be a lot different in 20 years, right? I mean, we always tell people when we're working on a written income plan that, their dollar needs to double every 22 years to stay ahead of inflation. So, that's another thing that we can do for people, is kind of show them how to grow their income by having a written income plan. You have a growth bucket and then you have an income. Right. Maybe it's through an annuity. Maybe it's through one of our bond funds that has a stop loss on it daily, so that, where's your next paycheck coming from is what we always ask people. And I know people like peace of mind. If they have a written income plan, they'll feel a lot better.
Well, and I know that the written income plan does not treat Social Security as a standalone item in a vacuum on an island all by itself. It incorporates Social Security into the rest of our planning. And I think that's the most important true value of that written income plan. But Tim, if we were to take it early at 62, only received 75% of our full retirement age benefit. And then on the statements, and I know they've updated the language slightly here recently. They used to kind of give an estimate for what they thought it might be. They've now said that the rules and laws can change at any time. If you have not seen those new Social Security statements, they do look different than the ones last year or in years prior. But the old version said in bold right on the front cover, and then again on the inside, that in the year 2034 or 2033, that they would only be able to pay about 77% or 75% of the intended benefits. So between ourselves shooting ourselves in the foot and going at 62, if that is the case and was a mistake, and compound that with the government also not being able to fulfill all promises, that's a 50% reduction in what we were expecting from Social Security. That could make a pretty big impact.
Absolutely. Right. And as my dad used to say, the government, when they get involved in things, it's not always the best. So,
No.
they sometimes screw up a one-car parade, right? So you have to be cognizant of what you're doing. And if you go early, are you shooting yourself in your foot? Also, I mean, what about your spouse? If, in some cases we've had, stay-at-home moms or dads, and then, they're only going to get one of those incomes if something, God forbid, happens to the other spouse. So these are things that need to go into the decisions that you're making.
Yeah, survivorship implications for Social Security. We tend to be short-sighted, Tim, in how we make financial decisions. Sometimes having a hard time making the paycheck last to the next week or the next pay cycle or the end of the month. But with Social Security, the decisions that we're making at 62 or full retirement age, 65 or 66 or 67, those may not have their ultimate implications until after we're gone, even beyond our own lifetime, maybe 85 or 90 years old, and then beyond, ripple effects on our surviving spouse. And so we really need to make these decisions with a whole lot of forethought, which to me takes time to dedicate to educating ourselves about the implications of these decisions.
Right. And the book screams for that, the solutions there. So it's great. People really can kind of boil it down and understand how to do retirement the correct way.
Well, if, again, you would like a copy of that book, Income Allocation, it is a new way of thinking about how to structure the assets for retirement. It specifically addresses retirement's greatest risks and then how to plan to control them through how you position your assets and your accounts. And it is being used as an essential retirement planning strategy guidebook by advisors across the country looking to help their clients better understand the ins and the outs and the risks of retirement. Pick up the phone, give a call. The first 10 callers with at least $500,000 saved for retirement, Tim will make sure that you get a copy of Income Allocation, whether you prefer it in a digital version or a physical copy in your hands. Tim will make sure to get that for you. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. But Tim, math that you've gone through before on the program, if we've got an ideal situation during mutual lifetimes where both spouses were high income earners and max out their own benefits, that means that the surviving spouse is going to have a 50% reduction in Social Security income when one passes away. And even if one was the homemaker or raised the kids and not in the workforce, they still do get a spousal benefit, 50% of the benefit. But that means that they would experience a 1/3 reduction in income when their spouse passed away. Either way, I mean, 1/3 to 1/2 of the income disappearing when your spouse does is especially for those who are living off of just Social Security alone, that is a gigantic swing in income. And we've got to think about that.
Right. So what you do does affect your spouse. So you want to make sure that you're both of you are involved in the decisions on how to do that, because you should really go into that with your eyes open. And that's why that Social Security optimization is just an outstanding report.
Now, this report, again, is going to tell you specifically for your situation when the optimal time to claim and collect would be. And if you would like that Social Security report and analysis, pick up the phone and give a call. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, you sort of advocated there for full retirement age. Why is full retirement age something that we need to strive for or shoot for, or what are the benefits of at least considering waiting until at least full retirement age?
Well, I think it's going to behoove you and your spouse, by waiting longer, if you are able to do it. If you're struggling to make ends meet, then, you might have to go early. But, for my money, and we advocate this in the book, that's the time to do it, is when you're full retirement age. So you're not taking a haircut. If you can even wait a little bit longer, it goes up by 8% each year. That's not the worst thing in the world.
Now, you got to promise to live to a certain age and period of time. By waiting, you're delaying that break-even point, correct?
Right. So, and we literally will spell out to you where the rubber meets the road, as they say, to show exactly what the gain is from waiting, if you're able to do it.
Well, again, if you would like to see those numbers in black and white and red and green and where that break even point is or what strategy, claiming, combination, or age gives you an optimal outcome, especially when coordinated with the rest of your retirement planning efforts and how you plan to draw from your retirement accounts. Pick up the phone, request that Social Security report and analysis along with the book Income Allocation, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Now, Tim, we know that there's not a dollar created or grown or spent that does not have some type of tax plan associated with it. We may feel like Social Security was a tax during our working years, but when they end up giving it back to us, there's the potential that it's taxable again at that point in time.
Right. And that's something a lot of people don't realize, that you can get taxed again on Social Security. So, these are things that need to be talked about. And when we do an income plan, we make sure that's a thing.
Now, Tim, if we are looking at the income plan, written income plan, looking at the different accounts, the distributions, maybe the RMDs, maybe a draw from a 401k or IRA, or here's Social Security for one spouse, here's Social Security for the other. Are you able to help people understand how much of that they're actually going to get to keep and how much of the Social Security benefit may be taxed?
Well, definitely. When we do a written income plan for people, we make sure that that's taken into account, that they're, the IRS has a plan for your dollar, like you said, whether you like that or not, but that's a real thing.
What causes the Social Security to become taxable? You said it may be taxable.
Well, I mean, it depends on the level of money that you're receiving. So, it can go up to 85% of that amount could be taxed, which is pretty scary. And, people don't realize that. They think it's all a take home, and then now they're doing, they have IRMA, which is hurting people on Medicare, where you have to pay more because you're making, you were a saver, you have a good income coming in, the bill for that person is going to be larger than someone who, in America has maybe $20,000 to their name.
So the amount of income that you have basically is what's going to cause a taxable event with Social Security, and then also potentially cause your Medicare premiums to be higher. And those levels of income, Tim, they aren't very high. I mean, $25,000 of income for a single individual causes Social Security to then become taxable at 50%, and $34,000 of the income causes 85 of it to become taxable income. For a married couple, it's not a straight doubling of that amount. Only $44,000 of joint income causes Social Security to be taxable at 85% of the amount being included in your taxable income. Tim, those levels aren't very high, so fair to say that probably the vast majority of the listeners to this program, they are going to have their Social Security taxed in retirement?
Yes, that's nearly a guarantee there. So, unfortunately.
Now, separate from the question and the conversation about taxation, Tim, there's the potential for your Social Security income to also be penalized, which is another reason why I believe you advocated to consider, if possible, wait until full retirement age.
Right. I mean, that, and like I said, they also now are doing means testing, where, if you're a normal American who has less than $20,000 for their retirement, your bill for Medicare might be, let's say, $100 versus, someone who's a saver and has been really smart with their money, they might have a bill of like $400, and that's just for one person, and then you double that up because you both have to have it, right?
Well, again, we need to go through the effort of being educated and informed on these matters, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why Tim Stearns offers the opportunity to do the Social Security report and analysis so that you can make a well thought through, wise and informed decision. And then you can help to incorporate that into the rest of your retirement income plan, using Social Security as a tool to protect your personal assets and your financial security to the greatest extent possible and keeping as much of all of your income as you can through having that written retirement income plan that a certified financial planner like Tim Stearns can help put together for you. Pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Tim, again, this cannot be a standalone decision. The folks down at the Social Security Administration office, they don't know about the rest of your situation. They're not going to take the time to know about all of your personal details, and therefore they don't provide guidance or recommendations on when the best time to claim and collect is.
They, legally, they're not allowed to give you any advice. They'll answer questions yes and no. That's about it. But they will not give you any advice. And in some cases, they might not be very good at even helping you on your decisions. So you need to make sure that, to your point earlier, it's not in a vacuum. All these things can affect all the other moving parts that you have in retirement, taxes, Medicare, all that good stuff. So what I would tell people is, come see us, do a Social Security optimization, and do a written income plan. And that it's proven that you'll have a much better retirement if you, know the answers to the questions.
Have a plan in place. That's key. Pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. If you'd like to do a little bit of additional learning, Tim does teach the Rethink Retirement courses throughout the area, and you're welcome to come and attend one of those. Lots of questions and answers and interaction, lots of course material provided at those classes. You can call and request the 3 biggest expenses in retirement and how to plan to control them report. You can call and request the book Income Allocation, which speaks specifically to how and when to use Social Security effectively. All of those resources available to you. But the number one is getting a plan put together with a certified financial planner or just a plan review. And if this has not been discussed in conversations with your source for financial advice, you may be missing the boat in retirement or missing a few, at least, key issues that would indicate you don't have a complete plan. And maybe you should take the time to look at completing your plan. Pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Now, Tim, in those Rethink Retirement courses, and I have to imagine you're hearing from a lot of individuals that may be concerned with everything that they are hearing about the solvency and stability of the Social Security system. What are you hearing from people about that? And do you see any potential solutions for us as individuals or even on a governmental level for them to take some steps to fix the system?
Right. So, back when my father retired in 1988, the full retirement age then was 65. Then they moved it up to 66, and now it's 67. So I see them strengthening that out to maybe age 68, 69 years old, so they can stay solvent. I think that's something I could also see them doing means testing where they might not give you your full amount because you were a saver. Get penalized for being a saver is just ridiculous. But that's something that they've talked about.
Well, it seems to be kind of the world that we live in. And you've already mentioned, Tim, that at certain income thresholds, Social Security becomes taxable, or it goes up a little higher, your income, and becomes even more taxable. So at some point in time, they could say, hey, you earn so much and it's 100% taxable. Right.
Oh, yeah. I think that's something that could happen. And it's a moving target. In 1992, is when they started taxing Social Security. So it's a thing, and it's too bad because it's going to hurt people in the long run.
Well, again, these are questions that you need to find an individual answer for, ladies and gentlemen, in your planning efforts. And Tim Stearns is a certified financial planner, can walk through all of the ins and outs of Social Security with you. And then more importantly, how to incorporate it to provide for as much retirement security for you personally as possible. That's part of having that written retirement income plan and the specific income allocation. If you'd like to get that put together, pick up the phone now, give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, another system that we hear about that we are entitled to, some people have the a problem with the word entitlement. I do not. I have been paying into Social Security and Medicare since I was 14, but I feel entitled to it as a result. But the other system, Medicare, a absolute cornerstone in the foundation of retirement, kind of a pervasive perception that Medicare is a solve-all and covers kind of all of retirement healthcare costs and expenses. That is far from true. And in fact, the list of things that Medicare does not cover may be more extensive than what it does cover.
Right. And I think a lot of people don't really understand Medicare. We are certified in that, so we can help people, educate them, make sure they know exactly what they're, what they're signing up for, so that they know exactly what they need to get. I'm very proud of, our knowledge of that. We're certified, so you don't want to go down that rabbit hole by yourself. If you have questions about that, we can help people do it. I mean, it doesn't take very long.
Fair to say, though, Tim, that most retirees that you deal with are going to have needs that extend beyond just the basic Medicare Part A and B, or even a supplemental Part D prescription drug plan.
Yes. We're seeing people live longer and longer with ailments, and so the health insurance cost for that is exorbitant. So you need to make sure that you understand exactly what you're signing up for. Year to year it can change, and we're happy to help people with that.
Well, on this program, we've addressed many of the important topics regarding and pertaining to Social Security that you need to know and understand in your planning. We've touched on Medicare. And Tim, in preparation of the program, you sent me along a couple of the official government guides to Medicare, and you, the official government Medicare handbook, as well as your Medicare benefits, which explains all of the coverages of Medicare. Kind of Greek, I'm going to be honest, and I figure walking through this with an informed individual that is qualified and experienced and has seen it and done it before maybe more helpful. But I'm sure that you could make these guides available to the listeners and viewers of the podcast and radio show as well.
Right, and they're great, references. A lot of good information in there that people, if they want us to get it into their hands, we'll be happy to shoot them an email with that in there. And, it's great information. You should really go in there with your eyes open.
Well, again, good information, educational. However, if you want it translated by somebody who can help you better understand it, they are certified there at TJ Stearns and can walk you through the process and get a full understanding of your benefits, as well as design that protect and grow plan with an income allocation, the Social Security maximization report and analysis. All you need to do, the value of this program is that you can take action and get that plan put together. Pick up the phone and give a call. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. Tim, we always appreciate your time. As always, you've got that great offer there for the book, Income Allocation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an essential retirement planning strategy guidebook. If you have $500,000 or more, the strategies described apply to you. Pick up the phone, give a call now, request your copy of Income Allocation. 800-640-2256. Tim, we always appreciate your time and being the resource for Chicagoland area savers and investors.
Thanks, Peter.
Tune into Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns' full radio program on 890 WLS every Sunday at 11 a.m. and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.